Hello, everybody, and welcome to another interview with one of the authors in Grit and Tenacity, Women Transforming Leadership in Business and Community. Today, we've got Karin Tice with us. Karin, would you like to introduce yourself and just tell us a bit about you and what you do?
Yeah, I'm delighted to be here today, Kathy, with you and with everyone who's listening. Um, I'm an applied social anthropologist by training, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I own and lead my own business, FARA, which is short for Formative Evaluation Research Associates. And FARA started 50 years ago with a social justice focus and really the audacious goal of trying to touch every major social issue of our times, which we actually have. And the reason we can do that is because we bring expertise in evaluation and learning, and we work with highly innovative initiatives that are really trying to shift inequitable systems. And they bring the expertise in what they do. So when you take their expertise and lived experience and what we bring to the table, which is creating learning environments, asking good questions, listening deeply, you have a really powerful evaluation. And what I'm passionate about, other than creating opportunities for learning, is weaving stories. So let me give you an example. So we work at the local, national, and even international levels, and we work with community leaders, nonprofits, foundations, and their partners, which could be any businesses or systems or government, local government typically. But let me give you an example to sort of explain it a little bit better. One of the projects I've been working and running alongside for the last, it's been almost 8 years, I think, is Detroit Champions for Hope. It's a citywide initiative in Detroit, started by a group of moms, grandmothers, and a few dads who really believed that their kids weren't learning to read and they wanted to become their kids' first best teachers and really change that throughout the city of Detroit. They'd never done this. They hadn't stepped into leadership until they tried this initiative. So I've been helping them get feedback and learn along the way about what's working, what's not working, ways they could strengthen their work. And I engage them in figuring out what the data means, um, and bringing it back to them so that they can make meaning out of it. And along the way, I've had the privilege of listening to their stories, and they've invited me to tell the story citywide of Detroit, which I'm deeply honored by, and I'm passionate about story weaving.
I love it. I
Um,
love the work that you do. You create so much impact in the communities that you work in, and it is so neat. It's such an unusual kind of
mm,
thing to do too. That's something that people I've never even heard of, but I love it. But
well,
kind
and I do feel like evaluation is a catalyst for impact but it's the projects that are doing the highly innovative, impactful work. I'm supporting them and helping them lift up their voices. Um, yeah.
yeah, to have it as a project that starts at that local level, and then have a group like yours come in and support them and really make the data make sense, and really be able to go to that next level of government and say, hey, this is what they're doing, this is what they've accomplished. But no, I think your support just goes so far with them. And it's been a great honor to have you in the book with us as well.
Mm.
And could you tell us the title of your chapter and a bit about the message you have in your chapter?
Sure, Kathy. It's shifting inequitable systems through community engagement. And I really wanted to tell my own personal story, um, because I didn't start off thinking I was going to be an entrepreneur or a business leader. Um, and it, so I'm telling the story about how that happened, but then also I'm really wanting to illuminate that people can bring their own passions and values to their businesses. I started from my passions and values and stepped into a business. But I think that's one of the special things that we have the opportunity as women to do, is to be relationship based, to bring our values and our passions to the table and work them into our leadership, into our businesses. Um, One of the things that I think is critical that I point out in my chapter is whatever you're doing, it's really important to do it with people and not to them.
Yeah.
And and to have relationships with the people you work with and really respect and honor, as I mentioned before, the local expertise, knowledge, experience, um, and bring what you can bring to the table too, because they're both needed. We can't do this work by ourselves. We've got to work together and weave what we each bring. And everybody has something that they bring that's unique to the table. Um, and I think if we can do that, we can really start to address some of these inequities and these systems that just are not working in our country, not working in the world. And we have the opportunity, and I think not just the opportunity, but it's urgent and it's imperative that we take action.
And I love how you use the local skills, what the locals want and how they see it happening, and using that as the base for the change rather than, like you say, someone coming in from the outside with this idea of, well, we're going to fix this and this is what we're going to do without, getting any input from the local people. So I love how you do it the other way around, where you start with that local interest, then that what are the locals trying to do? What is the local concern? And then work with that. So no, I love that. And kind of looking at the book and with the theme being around women transforming leadership in business and community, what's your perspective on that? How are women transforming leadership in business and community?
From where I sit, I think people are creating new ways of working, new ways of being, new ways of creating systems that are completely different and outside the box. Um, I see women not just focused on the bottom line, but really on, people, the planet, and prosperity. I think that's something that is increasingly women bring to the table because uh, we do care about giving back, and women tend to be very generous in giving back. And I've experienced this not only with women of wealth, but women. Oh, for example, when I was working with community foundations in Africa, they realized that in Kenya, I think it was Kenya, if everybody gave $1, they could create $1 million pool.
Oh, wow.
1 million people, $1. So that's very powerful. And that was women who led that initiative and gave that idea. They said, well, we can't give a lot, but we could give $1.
Right. And
Um,
all together, you can create a whole different level of impact. No.
exactly. The other thing, Kathy, that
Uh-huh.
I think relationships matter and equity matters. Um, and the other thing that I don't think I put in my chapter, but I would say now, um, is that joy
Yeah.
and self-care really matter. And as women, we've learned not to put our own needs out there, and not tend to them. And that's something I am absolutely trying to shift. And the people I work with in communities are trying to shift too. And we can have
Uh-huh.
fun doing this work, right? It's
That's
like
right. That's right.
we
More
have to have
fun.
fun. We have to have fun.
Yeah, that idea of just thinking outside the box, thinking of new ways of approaching a challenge rather than trying to keep doing the same old thing that we've done forever. So no, I love that. I love the work that you're doing and just the perspective that you're bringing to it. So if anyone listening today is interested in connecting with you and learning more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to find you?
There are two ways. You can go to my website, which is feraonline.com, and I'll spell that F as in Frank, ERA online, all one word, .com, or you can email me at k dot, oops, I'm sorry, I don't even know my own email, k tice, K as in kangaroo, T as in Tom, ICE, Fera, FERA, and that's F as in Frank, at gmail.com. And
Perfect. Perfect.
I'd love to connect with people who are passionate about this work.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely encourage everyone to read your chapter, learn more about what you're doing, and yeah, definitely from there, who knows how much change we can create in the world. But well, thank you for being on our little interview, Karen. I'm excited to have you in the book, and I am excited for our launch date. And I know that this book will inspire people and change lives. So
Well, and
thank you.
Kathy, thank you so much for your leadership in bringing women's voices to the table who are community leaders, community and business leaders.
Perfect. Thank you. We will definitely be talking again.
Okay, take care.